Hey everyone, and welcome back to my Kerbal Space Program video. In this video, I put together a little jet fighter. It's a very simple build, and so I made it pretty quick. We start with a cockpit, we start with a couple of fuel tanks, and now we have to pick out which engine we want. I took a closer look at some of these engines, and I decided to go with the one that said Afterburner. So we're gonna go ahead and throw Afterburner on ours. Uh, you'll love to see it. The tanks are not actually the same tanks that we would use for a launch, a rocket launch, because those have oxygen and fuel. These just have fuel because we're going to pull our oxygen in from the atmosphere. I start throwing wings on this bad boy. You'll notice there's two objects that I'm playing with here. There's a yellow and black ball, which is the center of mass. That's where the weight is. And then there's this blue line that points up. That's where the lift is. By putting those two on top of each other, I make the plane as essentially it won't pitch up or pitch down. It will just fly straight, and that's what we want. I did notice my plane, my wings were a little off there. We throw some landing gears down. Now, I'm using direct manipulation to position these. I want them wide so it's stable on landing. I want them close so the plane doesn't have much room to shake and shudder. And I don't want them at that weird angle like the back ones are. Also, think like a bicycle here. I'm turning the friction down on my front wheels so that they don't seize up on landing. That's going to be very important later. And then I basically give the same treatment to the back ones here. Now I add my air intake. Like I mentioned, our fuel here is just pure like carbon. We don't have any oxygen mixed in, so we pull the oxygen from the atmosphere. The last thing I noticed is that I didn't have any kind of vertical structures. If you ever look at like a jet fighter, like an F-22 or an F-35, they always have something vertical in the back. I like to do a spin on that by doing a little X-wing design, having a little X-wing design in the back. You have to be careful with the low profile of the landing gears, um, but the X-wing design it always works. Um, so I'm playing lift again. We're just moving things around, changing the size and shape of things until we can get our center of lift and our center of gravity at the same spot. Right now, our plane would kind of pitch down. With that, we're perfect. And again, we have the afterburner. It's a biplane with an afterburner. All right, I don't want to hear it from any of you. All right, takeoff looks good so far. I mean, speed up looks good. Oh, all right, let's see. Let's see how it handles. Oh, you get to 100 meters per second and it takes off like a charm. Very good control here. I feel great about this. Just a just a very obligatory aerial roll coming up. Oh, feels good. What's nice is I'm still pointed in the same direction. That is what you want. That tells me that we're pretty stable. All I'm going to do now is just kind of throw myself around here. I'm going to put it through its paces, try and turn it while keeping the nose above the horizon. I'm also burning off a lot of speed. I've pulled my power down here. We're coming in for a bridge challenge. I'm going to try and fly under a bridge. We're taking all that upward momentum. We're throwing it at the ground. We're going to catch it. And we're just going to bring it in. You see the bridge ahead? You see it there? Uh, Between the black ball and the white ball? That's where we're going. We're going to bring it in slow. We're essentially going to let the power of the plane just guide us. Thread it, thread the needle, and then we slam on the power and bring it out. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, finish out the finish out the aerial roll. Do a little flyby here. Oh, I'm having fun. That was very good. Oh, that bridge challenge is fun. I definitely planted it. I forgot. I forgot about that aerial roll, if I'm being honest. I was definitely having fun. This plane handles really well. It's got a lot of surface control. And the X-wings on the back honestly feel great. What I'm doing now is I'm actually positioning myself directly away from the runway. In order to burn off some speed here, because we're going pretty fast, we're going to do a vertical flip. Actually, I crank up the power here because I don't want to stall. We do a vertical flip. We're pointing in the exact opposite direction, uh, and we're in. Now I start to fly it towards the plane. I bring my power down. That way we can start to burn off speed. You'll see my velocity is dropping and my altitude is dropping. That's partially due to a lot of these little flying in maneuvers I'm doing. That burns off a lot of speed. All right, really getting a good line up here. Dropping the landing gear. We're flying it in. It's handled great so far. The hope here is that we can bring the speed down. When you're landing the plane, you essentially want to just bring the power down, pitch it up, and just hover above the ground while you just burn surface velocity. We bring it down to like 30, yeah, like 35 is on touchdown. And that's pretty good. We almost lost it there. I'm slamming the brakes. It's coming to a stop. That's what we need. Oh, that was a neat little run. All right. Honor rule in the comments. Did you notice that the bottom X-Wing was backwards? That it was facing the front instead of the back, the way it's supposed to?